You are listening to Your League Tennis Podcast with your host, Anthony Radonia. Anthony's an avid weekend warrior tennis player, just like you. Every week, he'll be interviewing new and exciting guests that will not only differ in experience and skill level, but also in age and physical ability. Your League Tennis Podcast is about making you a better tennis player. Whether you're a beginner or have been playing for years, in your 20s or in your 60s. Now, here is your host, Anthony Radonia.
So how was that?
Perfect.
That went pretty good, right?
That was great.
So that's props to my wife. That's her voice. She recorded that for me. And I'm still learning how to do the audio. Okay, cool. So this is the first podcast. And of course I have my friend and what do you call it? Not club owner, but
Yeah, club owner. Director of tennis.
Club owner, director of tennis, Scott Dickey with me. And before we begin, because it's the first podcast, I figured I'll give a little intro. And my hope is that this podcast benefits people like us that play, that love tennis, that aren't pros, right?
Right.
So I'm hoping the audience is going to be, 30-year-olds to 70-year-olds or above. And juniors, actually, too. I was thinking about that later on. But I think more of the target audience was people like us that have a job, have a family.
Right.
And then just love playing. Not only love playing, but do it to keep in shape, too. So I hope that we discuss, like, health issues, how we eat.
Right.
Drink or not drink,
Yes.
that kind of stuff. And so that's my hope for this podcast. But let's just start out real quickly with a little information about you so the listeners know like who they're listening to, okay? So you are how old?
54.
54. And then do you have a current USTA rating? I don't remember.
4 or 5.
You do?
Yeah.
You're a 4-5. Okay, that's right, because you play on the
Yeah.
4-5 league sometimes.
Yes.
What about a UTR? Do you know your UTR rating?
I haven't looked. There's a issue that there's a guy in South Carolina that has my name. And I think he's bringing my UTR down, honestly. So I quit looking at it. I tried to get it separated, but they're having an issue separating me from some guy.
Do you have any clue what it was when you last looked? Like with
No.
7, 8, 9?
No.
Okay. Okay, so but you do know you're a 4-5.
Yeah.
And how long you been playing?
Started playing, we started playing as a family when we were kids. My parents both played. And so probably 8 or 9, started playing as a family with brothers and my parents.
And your parents played for fun?
Yeah,
Or
just for fun.
never in school, college, high school?
My dad played 1 year of junior college
Okay.
and then got married and went to work.
Ah. And then so your parents would bring you and you have siblings?
Yeah, me and basically my younger brother and I would go out with the family and friends in our town, and we just go out and play for fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
we
what age
vacation.
was that?
Yeah, like 8 or 9,
Okay.
maybe 10. We vacationed on the Central Coast a lot, and my dad had a group of old retired guys that he'd play with, and he'd make us play with them.
Oh, okay.
And at first they were a lot better than us, but then
Yeah.
we got better and they stayed old. And but we'd play them all through high school. So
And you said one brother?
I have 2 brothers, an older and a
brothers.
younger, but my older brother didn't play much.
Okay. And then so did you play high school? Like high school tennis? You did?
Yeah. Didn't play just as a family and for fun before that. Took a few lessons before high school. But yeah, I really started to get into it in high school.
And then did you play college?
Yeah.
You
I
did?
played at Point Loma in San Diego.
Point Loma, okay. And that's a D1?
We were NAIA back then.
Oh, okay.
Now they're D2.
Well, they're D2.
Yeah.
Were they ever D1? For some
No.
reason, I thought they were.
No.
Okay. So Point Loma out in, what city is that?
San Diego.
San Diego. Okay, cool. So that's you sort of in a nutshell so the people listening know, like, your background in tennis. But now let's talk a little about your life outside of tennis, because the listeners or the people that I want to be listening to this podcast, we all have a life outside of tennis, right? We're not pros, nothing like that. So what do you do outside of tennis, family, anything like that?
I have 2 kids that were just recently empty nesters. So my youngest just went off to college this last year. So I have a 21-year-old and a just turned 19, both girls. so we, balancing kids and work and playing, focus mostly once they got into sports was about them.
Yeah.
My kids both swam at a young age, and so swimming is just a huge time commitment for the kids. And so, late nights, long weekends. And so tennis was pretty much, as far as me playing, I still taught, but part of me playing was on the back burner, and we were just chasing kids around with different sports.
So the schools had pools, like in a swim team and everything? Or
Yeah, well, they started young. My youngest was 5 when she started swim. My oldest was 7. So yeah, they practiced at a club in Lake Elsinore, and
okay.
it was club, basically club swim.
Yeah.
like club softball, club.
Yeah.
Everything else.
And then both of them are in college now?
The oldest is she's taking classes. She lives in Redlands. And
okay.
My youngest is going to school in Colorado.
And she's playing what again?
She plays lacrosse.
Lacrosse, that's right.
Yes.
I don't know why I always forget that name. I can see it in my head. I just think field hockey. Is that not lacrosse?
Similar. No, field hockey falls on the ground.
Lacrosse it is.
Stays in the air most of the time. Close.
Okay.
Still a stick and a ball.
Can you check each other in field hockey?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay.
I think field hockey is pretty aggressive.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then obviously you're running Murrieta Tennis Club out here in Murrieta. I live in Murrieta. You live in Murrieta.
Yes.
Right, yeah. And you've been doing that for how long?
We've actually been in the club 26 years this month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I started when I was 12.
At the club?
Yeah.
No, because you're only 38.
Yes.
Wait, what is that? Is that right?
Close.
Is my math right?
Yeah,
okay.
No, yeah, we've been there. Yeah, this year would be 26 years. I can't believe it.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
And you're coaching too, though.
Yes.
And you coached me today. We'll get into that. we did a lesson.
It was great.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So you love coaching still, or is it sort of like you just need to do it to help out, or do you still love coaching?
No, I still love it. I mean, obviously, in the position that I'm in, I get to pick and choose who I want to coach.
Yeah.
Right. That's the luxury of
Yeah.
being in my position. So I really do. I do like it. I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't have any lessons that I'm dragging myself through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I teach. I try and keep my hours between 20 and 25 hours a week. And I think if I stay right in there, it's good. Once I get over 25 hours, like in the summer times, then I start to
brutal.
I start to not like it.
Yeah. I remember some of the coaches that I took from when I was young, their lips would be chapped, their ears would be red and chapped, and those were some memories. So, but I see you coaching older people, like, in their 60s, maybe 70s, and then you're doing kids too. You teach the kids groups. So you teach all ages.
I teach all ages, all levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody.
Okay, awesome. So here, let's get into some questions then here. So obviously, if this podcast is to help people improve their tennis game, people like us, sort of the weekend warrior that, this isn't their life, but it's their love. So is there anything you see as a common mistake? Because you're coaching and you're there at the club all the time. Is there any sort of common mistake you see that's sort of all levels? Like, and what do you think the average level is actually at the club? Like a 3.5, 3.0?
Yeah, I would say 3.5's pretty standard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say 3.0 to 3.5.
3.0 to 3.5.
For the men. If we're talking men,
Okay.
3.0 to 3.5. Yeah, basically for the ladies too. We have a really strong 3.0, 3.5. We tend to get people through that beginner stage pretty quick.
Which is what? What? That's a good question. Like, what is the beginner stage?
Technically
2.5? 2.0?
2.0 is technically beginner.
Is that the lowest? 2.0?
I think so.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. So with our lesson program, with all of our different pros and their programs, that we typically get people into at least a 3.0, within the first 6 months or so. So predominantly all of our adult and ladies, or men and ladies leagues are probably 3.0, 3.5.
3.0, 3.5.
Yeah.
And we'll just start with the mistakes, and then we'll get into some of the other stuff. But what's sort of the common theme of, I don't even know if I want to classify it as a mistake, but stuff that's stopping them from being the next level up or something like that? Is there anything? Is there any common sort of thread?
Most of it, I think, for the adults is movement.
Yeah.
The ones that can move
Yeah.
typically progress fairly quickly. Those that struggle with movement, balance, setting up for their shot, I mean, they could have the perfect stroke,
Yeah.
but if they're not there and they're not lined up, it
Yeah.
really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I would think what holds most people back is their movement. If they can move well and they can get around the court and then get balanced, then typically they progress quicker than
Yeah.
the others.
Which actually is sort of every level in a weird way
Yeah.
because, I always think back when you were saying that, it reminded me of the story when I think I was in college or maybe right after that. But I was hitting with this guy who I think he was a semi-pro. I don't remember at the time. He was really good. And we were rallying. And I was like, I'm keeping up with this guy.
Right.
And then we started playing points. And once I started moving, I realized I was out of position all the
Yes.
time. My strokes were turning into crap. And so I started realizing how important the movement is because weirdly enough, a lot of levels can look equal when you're just rallying back and
Yeah.
forth, right? When there's no movement
Right.
involved.
No, I can stand and hit with anybody.
Yeah.
I get some of our top juniors that have come through that play college tennis. If they're hitting the ball to me and down the middle, I can hit all day long.
Totally.
I start moving 3 or 4 steps, it's over.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's every level as you progress. If you can keep progressing in your movement, your balance,
Yeah.
then you can continue to move on. I think that limits most people.
Yeah. And like you were working with me today, you were working on that forward movement with me too, because
Yes.
you know what, something I actually regret as a kid is I did too much side to side movement, thinking back on it now.
Right.
At the time, it was great because I was doing a lot of cardio. We would do those drills where there's cones to the right and left, and then you would just hit, get back to the middle, hit, get back to the middle.
Right.
And I think my side to side movement is pretty good,
Right.
obviously, because I worked on it so much as a kid. But I think my forward movement is the thing that's lacking because I never really worked on it. I don't know. I mean, but it's obviously something we need.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 I think most people move side to side pretty well.
Yeah.
Backwards actually better than forwards. Sometimes
yeah.
that forward, I don't know if it's not recognizing the ball, that I need to move forward or I can move forward.
Yeah.
But I think people move backwards fairly well.
That's weird though, isn't it, to say?
It's the opposite of what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I just remember watching a video as a high school kid or whatever, but of Agassi. He always moved in this V. It was always forward off an angle.
Yeah.
He'd go side to side a little bit, but he was always looking to move forward. And that just resonated with me. And so
Yeah.
like everything I try to do and try and teach is, can I take a step forward
Yeah.
and cut that off a little bit?
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of, that was like in the 80s.
Yeah. No, but it just seems like a lot better drill. Like even me, like nowadays, it seems like a lot better drill that I would set up the cones in a V versus just side to side. Because
Right.
I start, I don't know, feeling like I can do side to side stuff. But once I start having, like you said, to move forward and backwards, it really screws me up. I don't even know. Did you answer that, or did I sort of mess you up? But did you answer the sort of common mistake? Oh, it was movement.
Yeah, I think it's movement.
Okay. Yeah, it was movement.
I think strokes, for the most part, people have pretty decent strokes. They can learn them, right?
Yeah.
You can learn a stroke through repetition. And most people have the basics.
Yeah.
They're not, detrimental.
Yeah.
But the ones that can get there and do different things when they do get there beyond balance, I think, set themselves apart.
And every time like someone asks me for help on strokes, I always try to, you tell me if you agree, but I always try to steer them away from thinking about it too much, because I always think like a Jim Furyk in golf. Like no one wants his stroke in golf. Do you know Jim Furyk's stroke?
Yeah.
No one wants his stroke. Right. But he was amazing. Right. So I always think like, is the stroke that important? Like, is it that important to look beautiful, pretty, perfect, like Federer strokes, which are beautiful and perfect, like literally perfect. So like, is it important to be perfect like that or not?
Yeah, I do. I'm a big technique guy.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I think strokes are really, really important, especially for the kids coming up. Because you can see, if you see a person playing in their 20s and 30s, you can tell, well, that kid's been playing for 10 years, right? Or they learned young. So that's why I think strokes are important. But it seems like there's just a lot of different ways to hit a tennis ball, right?
Yeah.
There's
I
100
guess-
different ways to do it.
Yeah.
So you start off with the basics, and then as people progress, you can add, the forehand, you can add a loop, you can add more spin, you can add different things. But yeah, I think strokes are important.
Yeah.
And I try and stress strokes with, the thing is, everybody doesn't hit the tennis ball the same way. So to see a person, see what they're capable of doing. They're capable of doing a loop.
Yeah.
On their forehand, or they're capable of one hand or two hand on the backhand, and kind of guide them in that direction, whatever their abilities are going to allow them to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think strokes are important.
Yeah. And I think along the same lines is, I guess you can call it strokes, but like meeting that ball in front,
It's everything.
right? That's part of
That's the main,
stroke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Early contact solves most problems.
Yeah.
Who cares what you do in your backswing?
Yeah.
But if you're early and your racket face is positioned properly, it solves a lot of your
Yeah.
problems.
Which is interesting though, because I think it took me a lot of years to realize the backswing, I don't want to say isn't that important, but it's not as important as where you meet it in your follow through,
Right.
maybe. And that's weird to
Yeah.
say because the ball's already gone. Do you
Right.
agree with that, or am I
Well, I think how you set up in your backswing
okay?
allows you to make that contact in the right spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I really try to. This is my brain, but I
But
really
there's 100 different backswings. Like you look on the tour or you
Yeah.
look in college. I mean, everybody's got a different preparation,
Totally.
different backswing.
like Nadal versus Manarino, pretty different.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah,
It-
it's important, but I think early contact and hitting through the ball is more
Yeah.
important than how you set it up.
So maybe not. I was going to say weirdly enough, but not weirdly enough. We should be working on our follow through after the ball leaves our racket too.
Yeah, I think that 3 or 4, 5 inches after contact is super important that people don't think about it as much. That extension through the ball or how you snap it.
Yeah.
The different things, how you manipulate the ball, and that 4 to 6 inches after contact.
Yeah.
It's not just a quick snap.
Yeah.
It's that drive and that extension that gets you through that ball.
Yeah.
The difference of how Federer gets through the ball and how Nadal gets through the ball,
Totally.
right?
And I was actually going to mention that because maybe my late night YouTube, whatever, is watching slow-mo of Federer,
Yeah.
and it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
How in front his contact is, how much he's staring at it,
Right.
Because that's another
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Yeah.
Our head lifts and we're looking where the opponent is or where we should be hitting.
Right.
Federer's staring at his contact.
Mm-hmm.
And after the ball leaves, because you can see it in slow-mo, his head is still locked
Still
on
there.
contact.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy because when I watch my swing vision, it's nothing like that.
It's not.
No.
No. Everything's moving.
So I'm not Federer, I guess is the
But have you
conclusion.
watched others? I mean, does Nadal do that?
they all do. You're
Does
right.
Djokovic?
Yeah, you're right.
Is his head
Yeah.
still there?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, Nadal's swing is so violent
Yeah.
how he comes through it, but I don't think he stays as long as Federer does.
Yeah.
But their heads are there.
Yeah. No, you're right. It might be more prevalent like on a one hand also. I don't know. Because sometimes the slow-mo of Federer's one-handed backhand is
Yes.
he's like staring at the racket and the ball's been gone.
It's almost like he knows they're going to use this one in the video.
That's true.
So he stays there extra long,
That's true.
right?
Yeah. But what's funny about that is every now and then when I think hit a pretty stroke,
Mm-hmm.
it actually helps me.
Right.
Like, not that there's cameras on us,
Right.
but I pretend that someone's watching, there's a camera, or I'm looking at myself in the mirror kind of thing.
Right.
And I'm intentionally trying to do this pretty or beautiful stroke. It actually helps. And I think maybe that's contact or keeping my head down or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's probably head down now that I think about
Head
it.
down.
Yeah, because I'm pretending someone's taking a picture.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And you want to look good for people watching.
That's true. Holding stomach tight, like I'm doing now.
Right.
Let's see here. Oh, what do you think? Let's say someone listening is a 3-0 or 3-5, whatever. What do you think separates them? Before we, I guess, talk about how to improve their level, well, I guess we can talk about it all at once. But what separates them from the lower levels, the 2-5s, the 3-0s, like let's call it a 3-5, right? What separates them from the 2-5s, the 3-0s, and what separates a 3-5 from like a 4-5? Like, is there anything you think that is in our face?
I think if you go from like 3-5 to 4-5, it's definitely technique, right? You see a lot of, or 3-0, you see a lot of 3-0 guys, and they're just slapping at the ball, and they don't move real well.
Yeah.
And their technique's just average. Once you get to 4-0, 4-5, that technique really kind of takes over, right? They're setting their swing up better. They get more spin. They can hit their shots in different spots. They can manipulate the ball in different ways. As the 3-0 is just putting the ball in play.
Just putting it in play.
Right? That strategy, especially like in doubles, that strategy, it's a big jump from 3-5 to 4-0, I think, in doubles with where they put the ball and where they move. Do they go to the net or just going to stay on the baseline?
Yeah.
If they're at the net, can they put the volley away?
Yeah.
Are they hitting it back to somebody so they can lob it over their head?
Yeah. Or that the partner at the net when you're serving, like, how's their movement?
Right.
Are they helping you?
Are they helping you at all?
Yeah.
Right. And I think in the 3-5s, they don't help you much.
Yeah.
They're just not capable of helping you that much.
Yeah.
A 4-0 guy can help you more.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they might not even be thinking about it. Maybe no one told them, like,
right.
You
don't go across that center line, right?
Yeah.
That center line, that's your side.
Yeah, that's your side, is my side.
My side.
Yeah.
As the 4-0, 4-5, once that serve goes in play, that center line's gone. I'm up there. I'm covering the whole court.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this, but me and my partner Adam, one of the big jumps in our doubles game was us playing closer together. I think he used to stand a little more towards the doubles alley, and I was thinking doubles serving is more out wide.
Right.
And we started being more towards the center. He started coming more towards that center line. I did too on my serve, and actually made me serve more sort of to the opponent's like backhand or body, right? If they're a righty.
Right.
And then it just made my partner look so amazing up there because it seemed like every ball came to him.
Right. Yeah, especially if you can squeeze that middle in doubles and keep balls in the middle, then, that down line shot doesn't exist as much.
Yeah. And let them try it if they want.
Let them try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you start moving that ball out wide, that net guy has to go cover it, cover that line, and it opens that court up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you can keep it away from the net guy and squeeze it down the middle, and then you guys position yourselves in the middle, it changes everything.
Yeah, and it actually is something I've even talked with my wife about. Is I think at the lower levels you are more worried someone's going to pass you up the line when you're at the net.
Yes.
And if you literally stopped, like let's say you're not in a match, but you just went out there for practice, and you looked how much room they have to actually pass you, it's pretty tight.
It's pretty tight.
And you can actually probably even stick your hand out and touch it with a racket.
Yeah.
So how much space do they really have to hit a winner?
That's what I kind of tell people is, give the line away.
Yeah.
If they hit it once, it's lucky. They hit it twice, I'm going to take a step over there.
Yeah.
They hit the third time, okay, I'm going to cover you.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think most people cover the line and the ball never goes down
That's
the line.
right.
Right.
And then the partner serving has a lot of court to cover.
The whole court.
They got to cover the middle. They got to cover the angles, short balls, everything.
Right. Yeah, you can't help anything going across the middle.
Yeah. So I guess here's a little pushback for you. But if technique is the thing that separates, which I actually agree with you, I think it's from someone watching, it's pretty easy to guess their level based off their technique.
Right.
But here's my pushback. Technique to me almost seems like something, I don't know how to, I don't want to say this because it sounds a little naive or dumb, but almost something like easily fixed. Like if I said, don't hit a tennis ball, just show me a good stroke, they can probably do it pretty good. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
I just made that up at the top of my head.
Did you?
Now.
Yeah, it sounds like it. No, it's not easily fixed.
It's not? Okay.
Well, I mean, it depends on the grip. There's all kinds of different factors that go into that technique. But I think once you developed a habit, with your forehand,
Yeah.
if you're not hitting through the ball or you're not low enough in the back or whatever, it's pretty hard to break,
That's true.
But
Yeah.
when I get people that have like their grip is maybe too far to the west, they come in with a full Western grip.
Yeah.
It takes months to get them, close to semi-Western or Eastern grip.
Mm.
And it's just drop, hit. I don't even throw the ball to them for 2 weeks.
Do you think people come in too Western or too Eastern when they're at a lower level?
Too continental.
Too continental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a lower level.
Yeah.
Yeah. If for some reason they just start, I found that as kids progress, they naturally go to the West. And it's a kind of a battle to keep them semi-Western, Easternish.
Yeah.
But once the ball gets higher, once the rallies get longer, they get back off the baseline farther, they automatically start going Western.
Yeah. What do you think about at the 3-0, I guess, to maybe even 4-5, 5-0 level? We don't have the ability to study our opponents before we play a league match, right? Because we probably don't know them, never met them. We don't know their strengths, their weaknesses, and we're just sort of learning them, I guess, on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
How beneficial is it to even try to learn them during a match, or do you just play your game? Like, let's say you're coaching a 3-5 team. Yeah. What are you telling your guys and girls?
No, you do what you've been working on.
Yep.
You play your game. Don't worry about, especially the first set, don't worry much about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Unless it's some drastic, every ball's a lob.
Yeah.
Or they hit every ball down the line.
Yeah.
Then you make adjustments. But I think initially going into your matches, you play your game. You have your game plan, you and your partner, hopefully on the same page. And you do that, try and hit smart shots, not getting yourself in trouble so that they can expose you. But yeah, I think you just stick to your game and make them hit shots.
So that makes me think about something. Do the 3-0 and 3-5s, do they have singles too, or is it just dubs?
Yeah, they
do.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
same as everybody else. They use 2 singles and 3 dubs.
Oh, okay. Oh, and 3 dubs.
Yeah.
3 dubs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What do you think about the player, or should a player be thinking about their mechanics while playing the match? So,
No.
Okay, yeah. So I was going to sort of do the premise, but obviously you answered it. But you've been practicing for a month. You go out with your friends. You might take a lesson, whatever it is, right? You're in that league match now.
Yeah.
Should you be
No.
thinking about mechanics,
No.
strokes, nothing like
You
that?
play. You
just
put the
play.
ball in play, and you run around.
Yeah.
And you play.
Because obviously your brain gets in the way
Yes.
at that point.
Yes.
That's probably similar to anything.
Yeah. I think once you get to 4-5, even the 4-0 person really isn't thinking about strokes a whole lot.
Yeah.
I think 4-5 and above, they're thinking about, okay, I need to set my wrist up this way.
Yeah.
Or prepare my backhand this way.
Yeah.
They have the time and the knowledge, the ability to think about that.
Yeah.
I think the average 3-0, 3-5, you just need to run up, put balls in play.
But your answer is they shouldn't be thinking about it, but obviously they probably do, because I think we all do, is what you're saying. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I think they do. Like, I'm hitting every ball in the net.
Yeah.
Why is the ball going in the net?
Yeah.
Obviously I need to get underneath the ball some more. So maybe they think about those things,
Yeah.
but not the actual mechanics
Yeah.
of the forehand,
Yeah.
right? Maybe I need to get below it.
Yeah.
I need to aim higher.
Yeah.
Things like that. More spin,
Yeah.
but not the actual set, drop, finish.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about that. Well, they shouldn't.
Yeah, I know they shouldn't, but I think that was sort of leading it into what I wanted to get at. Was I was talking to 3-0 recently, and they were thinking more about their grip. Like, was my grip wrong? Is this wrong? Like during the match.
Yeah.
I was like, after the match, I said, don't do that to yourself.
No.
You're going to actually mess yourself up more.
Right.
There's no way you can fix that on the fly and start, your body's probably doing 500 things at once, or I don't even know, 10,000 things at once.
Yeah. If you don't have that fixed
Yeah.
going into a match,
Yeah.
you're not going to fix it during the match.
Totally.
It has to be fixed outside of match play.
Yeah.
How much do you think about your strokes?
During the match?
like we're hitting today in a practice session, are you thinking about your setup? What do you think about your stroke? Or
I think only recently I've been able to do this because to tell you the truth, I think I was always thinking about things, which is a problem. Like my best matches are when I don't know the score and I don't know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Right? Sort of like playing out of your mind or whatever we used to say when we were young.
Mm-hmm.
But only recently I think I've found the ability to focus on like one, maybe two things I want fixed quickly.
Right.
And I'm able to sort of tweak them a little and then go back to being out of my mind again.
Right.
Like not thinking.
Right.
And like today, like we were working on like, like deep top spin or whatever. So I just started thinking that little wrist drop, that lag, that like
Right.
Carlitos and everyone else is doing right now on the tour. Like that, I don't know if you go on Instagram, but they're always showing his like lag. Like, I guess, you know what I mean by lag, right? Yeah. So I was trying to focus on that a little. It's really tough, obviously. But I think only recently in the last couple of years, I'm able to do that. But when I was young, playing a lot more, in a lot better shape, like I couldn't do that at all. Once I focused, like tried to think about something, I totally screwed me up.
Right.
Like big time.
Right.
So yeah, but you're right. During the match, it's not time for that. At least for me.
Right.
Yeah. And if I do have to tweak something, I don't even know what it would be. I can't think of anything, to be honest. I'm not tweaking my toss. I'm not tweaking my grip. I'm not tweaking anything during a match.
No, but you're tweaking more like more spin, less spin.
Yeah.
Height.
Yeah.
Drive, slice.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
tweaking those things.
That's true.
But you're not tweaking actually technique.
Technique. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Oh, you know what? You actually talked about this earlier. What do you think the level is that you need to start thinking about something beyond just keeping the ball in play? I'm going to put you on the spot. Like, what is it? 3-5 that now there's, I don't know, other
Singles or
strategies.
doubles?
I guess singles.
Yeah, 4-0. If you get to 3-5, you can survive by just keeping balls in play.
Yeah.
Right?
Getting that return in.
Yeah, you get the return back in play.
More first serves.
If you get, 3 or 4 balls in each rally, you're probably going to win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
4-0, guys are adding more power, more spin. They're working the ball around a little bit better.
Yeah.
So you have to do a little bit more in the 4-0 singles.
But what is that little more? Like what? So we're playing a match. We're both 4-0s. You're a 4-5, so we're both 4-5s. What's that little thing that's going to separate me from you? How am I going to beat you besides just keeping the ball in play?
Depth.
We're both 4-5s.
Depth. Spin off that depth. I mean, if you can, like we were working on today,
Yeah.
if you can get that ball deep with some spin and get that ball out of people's strike zone,
Yeah.
then at the 4-0, you're golden.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's one of the main things that people don't realize is where is their opponent making contact in the ball? Right?
Yeah.
Are they waist high every time? Are they knee high? Or you can get up around their shoulders or above their head.
Yeah.
If you're a 4-0 and you can get balls up above a guy's chest, you're in great shape.
Oh, heck yeah.
And deep
Yeah.
with that, because at that level, they can't generate and be offensive with that, so they have to push it back.
Yeah.
And that kind of, then you can step in and do more.
Yeah.
But I think if you can keep the ball deep and get it to bounce out of people's strike zones at the 4-0 level, you're ahead of the game.
And I don't want to call it a pattern like to do, but I guess that's the best name for it. But like stuff we're working on today, I guess we'll call it a pattern. I was intentionally trying to drive it deep with spin. Then any short ball, I do my my finishing move or whatever it is, right? And so I guess that's not a pattern, like
no,
but it's something to think about, like that can help you win, right? Just
it's a great strategy.
A strategy, like a strategy ahead of time. Like here's how I'm gonna beat this opponent.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess being aggressive is just a good strategy all around.
I mean, back early college days, our whole strategy was hit a heavy ball to somebody's backhand, run to the net.
That's true. Hit their backhand. It's their backhand.
Roll it to their backhand and go running in behind it, and there's a volley sitting there for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All day long. That's all we did.
Yeah. It's a good strategy.
It's a great strategy, and I think a lot with most people, their volleys aren't as competent, but
yeah,
I think that strategy still works.
Yeah.
You can roll a ball to somebody's backhand and get it above their head and run in behind it. I mean,
And it especially works nowadays because the kids, I think, are watching the pros just smack the crap out of the ball. And so they want to do the same, which I do too.
yes.
So getting to the net is actually sort of throwing a wrench in their strategy a little.
Yeah, they don't know how to.
Yeah.
Because most people don't come to net, so they don't know how to pass.
Yeah.
You know, so somebody comes to net and they panic.
Yeah.
But I think the downside of all this power tennis is the volley is going away.
Oh, totally.
I mean, you can tell at Wimbledon, the path in the court, where it's worn down.
Yeah.
It used to be just this thing forward and then off at the service lines, right? And now the baseline is destroyed.
That's right. And it's green up there.
Yeah, and the front of the court's totally perfect.
Yeah. Which brings me to the perfect segue into hat trick. And our friends at the club would be mad if we didn't talk about this.
Yes.
So we have a men's group that you teach and coach on Monday nights, and all of our friends come out, and these group of guys are just awesome. There's like, what do you think, like 20 of us? But not that come every night.
In total, 18, 20, yeah.
Yeah, and we all text each other.
It's obnoxious.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I probably do it too much. But it's a great group of guys. Like, I can't believe I found like amazing friends at this age, because it usually doesn't happen. You sort of have your friends when you're young and maybe some work buddies kind of thing. But I've been really lucky to find you and all these other guys. So Monday night, we have this men's group, 2 hours. And at the end, we always do this thing called hat trick.
Yes.
And hat trick, is it a thing? You didn't make it up. It's like a thing everyone does it around, or did you make it up?
I didn't invent it, but yeah, we've been playing it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably other clubs do it too.
Yeah.
Like, do they call it hat trick?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I always did. Well, you get 3 in a row, right? It's 3 in a row is a
Oh,
hat
because
trick.
it's a hat trick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've never even put that
You
together.
didn't know that's why it was called hat trick?
No. Well, I mean, now that you say it, of course.
Yeah.
It's 3 in a row hat trick.
You win 3 points, you get a hat trick.
Yeah.
3 goals.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys are back. They're trying to pass. Guys at the net, 3 in a row, you get the point, right? And so we've been doing this as long as I've been going to the club, and you said you've been doing it for a long time.
Long time.
But wow, how much that improved my my passing shots. And I don't think it's a technique thing. I think it's the ability to be calm at the baseline thing. And I'm so surprised now, and it literally surprises me when I play matches. I don't tell you this all the time, but I can't believe how surprised I am how great my passing shot is. Not that it's like ridiculously amazing, but how calm I am when someone comes to the net.
Right.
I really feel like it's hat trick because we do it every Monday.
Constantly.
Yeah. But I think the reason why I was bringing that up is you were talking about passing shots and how kids nowadays, they don't know what to do when you charge the net. But I think how important is it in tennis to be calm? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hugely important.
Yeah, and just kind of be aware of the situation.
Yeah.
Is it that dire of a situation? Or are you panicking for no reason? Like when somebody comes in net, you got a ball and it's waist high.
Yeah.
And there's an open court, are you panicking? Right.
And are you doing too much? Because like you noticed today when you were teaching me, I was pulling the trigger a little too fast.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because we were doing, when you were feeding me the ball, it was one thing. We started playing points. I started pulling the trigger too fast, maybe on the second ball and I should have waited for that right ball, and I wasn't. And I think that's just more match play, obviously, but I think that is the feeling of being calm and like trusting your strokes and then only pulling the trigger at the right time is important.
Yeah, and especially like with the guys at the net, you don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be on the line.
Yeah.
It has to be an inch out of his reach. Or not even, or getting him in a bad position so you get him with the next one. Yeah. Right? You don't have to pass him on the first one.
Yeah.
You can dip a ball down, he pops it up.
Yep.
You get him with the next ball.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be a full out winner, which I think is what people fall into is somebody comes in net, I have to hit a winner. Yeah. Well, you don't. You just have to get him to move a little bit. Maybe it goes by and maybe they miss the volley, or maybe they just float it. And then you have the open court for the next ball.
Yeah. What do you think about, I'm going to change gears a little, but what do you think about, let's talk about this first. How do you eat? Like, I don't want to get into your drinking habits, right? Because it's a family show and we don't want to put you on the spot. But how do you eat, like, right now? What are you doing to try to keep weight?
Excuse me. Recently, we've been doing keto.
Yeah. And
I've never done it before.
Okay.
I've always been a fan of eating meat. I've never had a problem with meat.
Yeah.
But my wife and I started doing keto the last 3 months, and I think it's great.
So before you go into it a little more, I just want to ask something here. Some people say keto. Other people say I'm just cutting out carbs, and other people say I'm going carnivore. Like, why are you saying keto?
I think it's all of them.
Okay.
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
My wife is more carnivore.
Mm.
She's very, very little carb. She doesn't eat like fruit.
Won't eat any fruit?
No.
Does she think about her like electrolytes at all or anything like that? Or
a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
She uses some drinks, electrolyte drinks, and things like that. But and she's cut out like oils.
Yeah.
All oils and all those things. She doesn't do dairy.
Mm.
So I do dairy.
Yeah.
I'll do some fruit. So I'm kind of, I don't need to lose a bunch of weight.
Yeah. What do you weigh, if you don't mind me asking?
Sitting between 175 and 180.
Oh, that's good.
Depending on my week.
That's where I want to be, and I'm not there yet. Yeah. That's my perfect weight. I think if I can be 180 consistently, like 177 some days, 182, that's where I need to be.
Yeah. So basically, I'm cutting out bread, rice, all those major carbs.
Yeah. Juice? Do you drink juice?
I don't juice.
You don't drink juice?
I'm not a juicer. We have cut out most of the alcohol.
Yeah.
That's
huge.
Maybe one night a week. And that, I think, with my sleep, with my energy, I think that's a huge thing. And I hate to admit it.
Yeah.
It's not. We had a discussion. We're not any fun anymore.
Yeah.
We don't go out.
Oh, you're not any fun anymore because you cut out.
Well, we cut out. We don't go out. All we eat is we'll stay home and have steak every night.
Yeah.
So we're not going out to restaurants.
Yeah.
We're not meeting our friends for happy hour.
Yeah.
We don't drink as much. It's a pretty boring lifestyle.
Yeah. But you're looking better. You're going to live
great.
longer.
We feel great. We look great.
Everyone will be dead and you guys will be alive still.
Fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine. But it's interesting because I don't know about, it's an interesting diet because I've never done it. I don't diet. It's just a way I eat.
Yeah.
I'm never hungry.
Yeah.
Because
maybe you don't have those cravings for bad food.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that sometimes I've done some things where I cut some things out and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And then once you're hungry and you're on the run, you're in a drive-through somewhere.
Totally.
Right. So with this,
what's your favorite drive-through you used to do prior to keto?
Which I still do.
Oh, right.
I'll do In-N-Out.
But you just do no bun.
Chick-fil-A. But so I went to In-N-Out the other day. I got a 3x3 no bun.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's hard
to
do. But I think people are so addicted to carbs.
Totally.
And the sugars and all that. That's for some people it's pretty difficult.
Oh, it's difficult. So I've done carnivore or keto, or I've tried, right? I don't know if I call it keto. I'm not really sure. Because I think if you call it keto, you try to get in ketosis, and I don't know about all that stuff.
I never felt that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when the first couple days, maybe even more than that, maybe the first 5 or 6 days, when I cut out carbs, and for me, I was Mr. Cereal at night, right? Throwing some ice cream, and then juice in the morning. Actually, juice in the middle of the night, too. That's what would kill me.
Really?
About 2, 3 in the morning, if I wake up, I'm just downing some OJ, tangerine juice. I have no idea why.
Why?
I don't know. Because I'm thirsty, and I'm probably not fulfilling my thirst with water. I rarely drink water. Look at me. Diet Coke, right? I mean, that's horrible.
It's horrible.
Horrible. And so I feel like a lot of times I'm thirsty and I'm not reaching for the right stuff, right? So my body's used to that. And it's like, come on, get some fluids in you. And I'm just reaching for the wrong stuff. And it might fix my brain for a second, right? Down in that OJ or
sugar.
Diet Coke. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like fulfilling me. So I forget where I was going with this. Oh, but for 4 or 5 days when I was trying to do carnivore, I was mad, right? And
headache.
headache.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way people can live like this. But once I got over that hump, it was actually pretty easy.
Yes.
And then I started feeling like I can eat what I want as long as it was in line,
Right.
with this diet. And I started feeling pretty good. Like
Yeah.
I had the energy. I felt like my energy was up. Maybe not for short spurts. Like I felt like my sprinting wasn't the same. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I felt like my long distance was good. Like I can go forever long distance when
Really?
I'm on carnivore or keto.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing or not, but
I don't
it
know.
felt like it for me.
It's interesting.
Yeah. You don't
I
feel that
haven't-
way?
Well, I don't go fast
Oh yeah.
anymore.
or far.
Or far. What I've noticed is, like I'm not losing weight, but my clothes are loose.
Fitting different.
Yeah,
Okay.
which I think is because I don't want to get.
You're not losing belly fat, or
That
is
must
it
be.
too recent?
I must be because my clothes are loose.
Your waist too, like
Yeah,
pants, shorts.
Yeah, my pants basically.
Oh, really?
My pants are loose.
Okay.
So, but my weight is about the same.
Interesting.
So my wife found that the same way too.
She's the same.
Yeah, her
Okay.
clothes are fitting a lot looser.
Oh, good.
So
All right. Well,
I've never dieted. I mean, I went right before COVID. I went vegan.
yeah.
I'm like, let's just mess this whole thing up.
Yeah.
So I went total vegan.
Yeah.
For about 8 months.
Wow.
I was in. It was great. I started losing muscle and strength. I was going to the gym,
Interesting.
and I was losing strength. I felt good.
Yeah.
I was sleeping great.
Yeah.
But I wasn't maintaining the muscle or strength.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and everything went out the window.
Maybe you weren't getting enough protein, you think, or you weren't?
Yeah, but that was so hard because I'm a big protein guy.
There's probably some vegans on here that are listening right now that
They
think you're totally
I'm
wrong.
an idiot. Because
You're
I
an
watched
idiot.
the movies. I watched the
Yeah.
Meat Eater one. I watched whatever
Yeah.
those are. How easy to get protein,
Yeah.
but I wasn't.
Yeah.
getting it.
Funny is my dad was a vegan. Or there's like one above vegan, like where you won't even eat honey. I forget what it is. But anyways, he did that for years and it helped him huge.
Yeah.
But I mean, it helped him like, if you had like a skin rash, like he wasn't having that kind of stuff
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like everything cleared up
Absolutely.
kind of thing. And I felt it was a very healthy way for him to live. But you're right. I don't know. We weren't really thinking about muscle and everything
Right.
back then
Right.
when I was trying, going through
No,
it with
I
them.
felt great
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
It was harder. I mean, you
Yeah.
had to really think about. You had to plan your day. Because you couldn't. There's no drive-through.
Yeah.
You can't get caught.
You're right.
Right.
You're right about
It took
that.
some forethought and
Yeah.
some work and
Yeah,
lots
there's
of
no vegan
preparation.
drive-throughs.
No, but this with the keto or
Oh,
carnivore,
this is easy. You just
go
go
no
get a
bun,
burger
whatever
patty.
it is. Just no bun.
extra cheese.
That's right.
So this is sort of funny that you talk about this because that I'm not flip-flopping, but you're like vegan, then carnivore, you're just trying stuff.
Sure.
This is actually what I think about us, like weekend warrior tennis players, is we're always trying new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Before I get into like the real meat of the question, but is there any gimmick like trick that you would like tell everyone to do? Or is there like a little, I don't even know, any gimmick like a actual product that you think's pretty funny or useful or?
Recently, I'm a big sauna guy. We have a sauna.
Oh, okay.
For recovery, I think that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything where you can kind of sweat it out.
I was thinking more like a funny wrist thing to buy or something, but
No.
sauna's a real thing.
I was when I was playing this last league.
Mhm.
I bought this. I think it's called the box ball. It's this ball that there's a string that hangs around your
Yeah.
head. Have you seen
You
this?
told me, yeah.
It goes around your head and it hangs down by a
String.
string, and you box it.
Yeah.
like you're boxing. I swear my volleys were on fire.
You're on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear everything was out in front. Everything was perfect, and I could
have
sit
seen
there
that
and do
thing.
that thing for like 20 minutes.
I have
I
seen
could just do
that.
it straight. And so but then I was doing it, and I went out and played, and my volleys were just horrible. So I'm like, this thing doesn't work anymore.
You were punching them.
Yeah. I did it too much.
I always think about what's that movie with Kevin Costner? Oh, Tin Cup. Do you remember that scene where he had like he had like 30
Yeah.
things on him
Right,
where
right.
he was like, but
Right.
I think that's us. I don't know. I guess tennis doesn't have that many gimmick products like that, like golf. Because when I was into golf, I was buying the gimmick products, but tennis there really isn't any, Huh?
No, I
Anything?
think tennis guys are more like grip and strings and weight.
That's true. Weight.
Where they put their weight.
Yeah.
Are they putting this tungsten in their handle?
One thing that is not a gimmick, but that I would suggest to people, and I don't think you've used it yet, is the Swing Vision. We've talked about it.
I've seen it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, that thing was beneficial to me because I got to see myself, first of all, which I've never really seen myself. Maybe if my wife took a picture of me or
right.
30-second video or something. But
I think it's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
It's just going to get better too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing all the updates. But this thing is showing you, like, you can edit it to look at every forehand, every backhand, every serve, your speed, errors. And this was another real interesting thing to me, which I never thought about until I looked at the Swing Vision data. How close me and the opponent were on points won.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm totally making up the number. Someone's probably going to be like, you idiot, that's not right. But it was like 100 to 96.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't,
Right.
It could be 300, it could be 50. I don't know. I'm just making that up.
But you see that, I mean, like, you see this in the Grand Slams. They do this stuff for, Djokovic and Nadal.
Yeah.
And they're like almost even.
Almost even.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It is separated by a few points.
Right.
And then another big thing, which is something I never really thought about till Swing Vision, was the fact that my opponent, when I won, I noticed my opponent had more balls hit, and I was like, what does that even mean? And I realized that they were making the error.
Yeah.
Right? They were last to hit the ball.
Right.
So like if I hit a serve and they hit it back to me, that's 1-2. Well, that doesn't make sense. But
they had one more ball hit than you because they missed the last one.
Because they missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe especially on their serve.
So they do that over 30 or 40 points.
That's
and they
right.
got 30 more balls than you.
Okay. So yeah, if they serve, I return, and they hit out, that's 2 hits.
Yeah.
Okay,
And you
that's
had
right.
one.
That's right.
Right.
So I was just looking at the data, trying to figure out how it can be beneficial to me, and I realized that obviously they're missing more than I do.
Right.
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 And we were talking about this at different levels, but like I'm a 5-0, but even at that level, people are missing.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's not like
It's still a game of errors.
totally.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not Mr. and Mrs. like hitting winners all
Right.
the time. It's not like that.
Even the top guys, I mean, they still have way more errors than they do winners.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah.
And they're pros.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I sort of talked about everything I wanted to talk about. What do you think?
mean-
Is there anything you're thinking like, oh man, you had to touch on this and I didn't?
Well, like who do you pattern your game after? Like as a kid, who'd you say I want to hit the ball like that? 'Cause I think it was different for me. I don't know about you, but we'd go watch Agassi, Connors,
Yeah.
McEnroe, whatever. We go watch and we go out and try and do it.
Yeah.
I don't think people do that these days.
Try to copy what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're saying? Yeah.
But I remember doing that. Did you do that? Did you
So
I'm gonna hit my forehand like that guy.
here's the weird thing. I've been playing tennis since I was like 4, right? And then I took a big break after college. But I didn't really care about it. Even though I was playing every day. Till probably I was 20. Like literally every day. Right? All my friends went out and had fun after school. I went straight to tennis.
Right.
Probably like you. Straight to tennis, got home, did my homework, went to bed. Right? Like that was my life. But I didn't really care about it. So I wasn't watching tennis.
You weren't a student of the game. You weren't watching.
Not at all. Like now I like love it. I'm always talking
right.
about, look at this thing. We're doing a podcast, right?
Right.
And I'm watching tennis all the time. We're going to tournaments, Indian Wells, San Diego Open, Ojai this week. Like I'm just excited. We're gonna go watch it. But I never cared about it
You didn't?
at
That's
all.
weird.
Like I went to like WrestleMania. That's where we went when we were young. Joel Hogan, Andre the Giant, with the steel cage. But you know what? I probably went to matches. I just don't have a memory of it. I bet you my dad would make fun of me right now. Like, you idiot, you don't have a memory of anything. Because he took me to the Olympics. I don't remember it. What was that, 86 in LA?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I do a little. But
You didn't go watch Davis Cup?
No, never cared about that when I was young.
Come on.
No, I never cared. I mean, I knew I had to play tennis, and I didn't hate it.
Right.
But I also didn't love it to the point where I thought about it once I was done with tennis. Isn't that weird? Just a thing to do. But now, you know me, I'm like a nut.
Yeah, I'm a fanatic.
Yeah, I'm crazy.
Yeah, because growing up, we'd watch
Yeah.
and then go out and try and do it.
Yeah.
You know, where I grew up, we had a club and a pro. We didn't take a lot of lessons, but we just emulated. You know, I'm gonna go out and hit my backhand like Connors today. You know, or Vilander, or somebody, or Agassi,
Mats Vilander.
Yeah. So, that's how we kind of did it. I don't think kids do that these days. Talking to kids at the club, I'm like, hey, you guys, it's the U.S. Open. You may watch it. Like, no.
Yeah.
What's that?
No one's even knowing.
They don't know.
You know, it is. You're totally right. I'll mention names and no one knows what I'm talking about.
You know, if you're eighth grade, freshman in high school, and you don't know who the number one player in the world is.
Yeah.
And you're a tennis player. It's weird.
Yeah.
I think it's weird.
It's probably me though back then, but I know exactly what you mean now. Now I feel it's weird. Now that I'm old. Yeah. Like, you weird kid.
Follow stuff.
Yeah.
Where are you on pickleball? Where do you stand on it? What?
I've only played like twice with our friend Pete.
Right.
And it was fun. But, what was funny is we had a day of tennis and pickleball, and he threw in a few beers. Mm-hmm. But when I played tennis, obviously I was doing good. I was beating, most of the people I was playing with. And I remember this one guy I was beating on, whatever. And then we went over to pickleball, and he was destroying me.
Right.
The same guy I was beating in tennis. And I'm like, this isn't possible, because I was actually mad because I thought anything with a paddle,
I can win.
Racket, I should win. Ping pong, I should kill this guy.
Right.
Badminton, I don't know. I've never played, but I should kill this guy. He destroyed me at pickleball. So I started hating it. And I don't know now if I'm biased against it because this guy beat me who couldn't beat me in tennis.
Right.
I'll probably beat him 0-0 in tennis, truthfully.
Right.
That's how it was. But he was destroying me in pickleball. So I don't know right now if I like or hate pickleball. I haven't got there yet. What about you?
I like it. I think it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I don't get, the whole tournament side of it. I think it's still, for me, and I know other people would hate this, but it's a fun game. I went out this last weekend and played with my brother.
Yeah.
The great thing is you can go out and play with some random guys who've never played, and you can have a game.
Totally.
I can go with my wife and play pickleball.
Yeah.
I can never hit a tennis ball with her.
Yeah. No,
so
totally.
that part, the social part.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, you got music, you can drink and play, all that part. I think it's great.
And you're what? I'm probably wrong. 20 feet from each other?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's totally social.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. My only issue is I've spent my whole life, crafting this tennis game.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
And I could go out and lose to a 70-year-old woman.
Totally. Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. And get killed.
Yeah.
And that pisses me off.
Yeah, it does. Pisses me off too.
like this isn't,
it
shouldn't be this way.
Yeah.
Because I could probably beat that person in any sport.
Exactly.
You pick another game, I can beat you.
That's what I felt.
In anything.
That's exactly what I felt.
I don't want to play soccer. I guarantee I can beat her at soccer.
Yeah.
But pickleball, I'm losing.
Yeah.
Every
time. I don't know if true pickleballers would even agree with this then, but that just means to me that it's not as physical as other sports.
Right.
In a weird way.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Probably going to get lit up about this.
Oh, totally.
I mean, the pickleball people are going to kill us.
Without a doubt.
Who was your favorite, or which coach was instrumental in your life, looking back at all your...
Well, my coach was always my dad.
Okay.
So my dad played some fun tennis and then started me and my brother off at a young age. We played baseball and soccer when we were young, but always focused on tennis.
Right.
Okay. Never other sports. Never played basketball, football, or anything, but baseball and soccer we played a lot of, which I enjoyed baseball a lot, actually. But my dad was always my coach growing up. So he took us to the local high school when high schools used to let you get on. Can you believe that nowadays? It's sad. But back when high schools used to let you on, that was the thing, man. I have a lot of memories of families on the track at high school, sort of walking, exercising. And then a lot of people on the tennis courts. Specifically, I grew up in West Covina, so it was West Covina High School. And we would, every night, it would be busy. We'd probably even have to wait 5-10 minutes to get on a court.
Right.
And they were the steel nets with white, I don't know if it was white asphalt. I don't know what it was.
Really?
But it was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
But that's where we were. That's where we practiced. And so my dad was my coach growing up. pretty much all through juniors, probably. I mean, we went to coaches every now and then,
Right.
but tennis can get expensive.
Sure.
Sure. And so I forget. I don't want to say this and be so wrong, like sound like an idiot, but I'm almost positive the first person I ever heard charge like $1 a minute was Pancho Segura out of San Diego, I think.
Right.
And I think my brother went to him, and I couldn't believe it when the guy was charging $60 an hour.
Right.
And I was like, that's impossible. Right. So, but that's how it was growing up. You played a lot of tennis. No one's getting coached like every day.
Just played.
Yeah, you just played.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had fun. So not a lot of like coaching outside my dad, but my dad did a great job, working us, doing push-ups and, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I never had true coaching. What about you?
Yeah, I had one really good coach growing up. It wasn't until late high school. He was very good. As far as the coaching side.
Yeah.
I didn't have that mentor, guy that took me through and was taking me to tournaments and doing all that.
Yeah.
Which is part of the thing that I love about teaching is, having a kid start in our China Tots program and coming all the way through and building that relationship.
Yeah.
That I think kids get more now because kids are doing more coaching now as opposed to playing. I tell kids all the time, you guys take way too many lessons. Like way too many lessons.
Interesting.
They don't play enough sets, which all we did was play sets.
Interesting.
Growing up, that's all I did.
What about the 3.5s and the 4.0s? Are they maybe doing too much hitting, not enough lessons?
I
or are they
think
doing
men are doing too much playing.
That's right.
Not enough lessons.
You're right.
The ladies, all they do is take lessons.
You're right. I rarely see the men
They don't do it.
Do the lessons, but you're right. The ladies are being smart about it. They're taking the lessons and they're playing.
They like the social part too.
Yeah.
For them, it's social and it gets them out, and they don't got to worry about setting anything up, and they just play. But yeah, I think, and that's just how guys are, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we don't.
And we struggle forever. But I think the ladies take tons of lessons in clinics.
Yeah.
Which is probably why they progress a little bit quicker than the guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guys are playing way more sets.
Okay, so we're a little over an hour, so we'll try to conclude here. Is there any little nugget that you want to leave the listeners that you think is just going to bring them to that next level? Like, I have no clue. Serving, volley, stroke, whatever. Is there something they should be focusing on that maybe they're not right now? The R level people, the 2.5s to the 5.0s, or maybe to the 4.0s.
Develop your game, your strategy, how you play, and like own it.
Yeah.
Like do it until you can't miss it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whatever your thing is, put everything into developing that.
Yeah.
Are you a serve and volleyer? Are
Yeah.
you a banger from the baseline?
Yeah.
Whatever it is at your level, just commit to that one thing. Don't try and be everything.
Yeah.
Commit to your thing. Do it and be the best at it.
And I like that own it thing you're saying, because it's actually something I think some people don't realize, that they just need to trust their own game.
Yeah.
Like even a person I was talking to yesterday was trying to, and I know like we were saying earlier, we're trying to emulate ourselves over people who are watching.
Right.
But that's just not what we're supposed to be doing. What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses?
Yeah.
Be yourself, own
Right.
it. Yeah. I like that.
Good.
That's a good final thought, Scott.
Well, thanks.
Well, thank you so much.
No,
It's
this
been
was
a
awesome.
little of an hour. That was really fun. I hope
Easy.
I hope people enjoyed it. But let's do our little outro song and mute the mics and see how it goes. Here we go. Thank you, Scott, so
Thanks,
much.
Stone.
I really appreciate it.